Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to another video, and today is a really interesting one. So have you ever thought, what is the best car in GTA in people's opinions? So what do people like the most? In this video we're going to get down to that, and we're going to show the best car of each class. So most of these classes are GTA classes like Super, Classic, Sports, and some of them are just general classes like Wagon and Super / Hypercars. So yeah, this took me a long time to do. I'd appreciate if you watch the whole video. And yeah, let's get straight into it and let's see what vehicles car guys prefer. So now, starting off with the muscle class. This was really surprising to me because I thought there is a lot of muscle cars, and I thought an older muscle car would have won, like the Vapid LE, the Imperator, something along those lines. But actually the Dominator GTX came out on top. You know, going into it a bit more, thinking about it a bit more, there is a lot of mods on it. It is a newer age muscle car. Yeah, and I think it's just the modifications that this car has. It has a lot, and as you guys probably know, the muscle car category doesn't have that many modifications unless you're looking at arena cars. Now, out of 18 Dominator GTXs, this red one here won. I'm sure a lot of you are not going to like the fact that this is slammed, but it looked like this when it won the best of show. And yeah, there we have the best muscle car. So in the classic car category, I was actually really surprised with this one. Second came the Turismo Classic, which I actually thought would have came first. But first came the 190Z, with 28.4% of overall voters picking the 190Z. In the numbers factor, 311 people picked the 190Z, and 236 picked the Turismo Classic, which came second. So I would say the 190Z got a fair lead in this, and it's really surprising to me. I think it's a great car, but I didn't think it would be number one. Out of 28 people that actually brought the 190Z, this green 190Z that looks really nice won the best out of all of them. Unfortunately, the front bumper on this one glitched out on Rockstar Editor, but I'll leave a close-up from earlier.
Let them know I got you, never been insecure, but I don't play about you. Don't care who you were before or what they say about you. We fresh like air, no pollute. We didn't came too far, this no fluke. When you on my arm, you...
So there was a slight flaw in this testing. When doing the survey, we did put Sultan RS underneath Supers. So we classed it as a Super, but we also did another poll, which I did later on in my community message, saying Super / Hypercars in general. So in the supercar category of GTA, the Sultan RS won, which is not surprising if you think of what category it is in. But if you're interested to know what actually won as a Super / Hypercar that you'd see in real life, then that's coming next. I mean, with all these Benny's builds that you can do in the Sultan RS, it must be one of the highest voted just because of the amount of mods you can actually put on this car. Out of all these Sultan RSs you see on screen now, there was one that came out on top. It got the highest votes. Yeah, and in my opinion, deserving of it. An amazing build that's aggressive and simplistic at the same time. This Sultan RS won. Now, the best supercar. I think at this point we're seeing a common theme with these cars. It seems to be the ones with the most modifications. Makes sense, you can customize it and make it the way you like it. The ones with the most customizations are winning all these best of categories. But the thing I like about the Thrax modifications, they're not too out of its boundaries. They're not, you know, modifications that you wouldn't see on a Thrax. Like you shouldn't see on a Thrax. Of course, you've got the wheels where you can put dollar wheels on it, but the wheels have always stayed the same. But with these modifications, there's nothing crazy you can put on it that wouldn't suit the car IRL. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do like the best of show with this car, so you won't see like the best of the best kind of thing. You'll only see my car, which is here. Now the list of station wagons in the game is really small. but I thought I'd put it in anyway. It would be interesting to see what people would vote for. And the Stratum actually won. Not that surprising looking at the variety of station wagons, but the Stratum did get the majority of the vote, and a lot of people actually have him. A lot of car people actually have him in the garage. It looks super cool and is definitely one to probably add if you don't have one already. Unfortunately, it doesn't have many modifications. When I say many, I mean none at all. All you can do is change the color and the wheels, and that's it. Out of 20 Stratums, this yellow one, this pale yellow, actually got the best of the best. So yeah, congrats to him. Now the number one for the SUV class, which is the Taurus, the Lamborghini Urus, and it is kind of understandable. It's really fast for being in the SUV class. I mean, before this and the Rebel GTS, the SUV class was not a class that really had that many fast vehicles. And speaking of the Rebel GTS, it was a close second. That alongside the Urus, they both have a lot of modifications, which again, the SUV class kind of lacks on. They don't have that many modifications on each vehicle. So, you know, these cars definitely have the upper hand when it comes to races and you do it in the SUV class. You can basically make any spec out of them. And yeah, it's kind of a good looking car to look at. So in this meet, 22 Tauruses came out. So out of the 22, this one was the best, because out of 22 cars, this one came up out on top. Now in the off-road class, the Caracara 4x4 takes this. It was very close to the Dubster 6x6, but I don't think there's that much competition in the off-road class. I would definitely say that the Caracara 4x4 is probably the best looking. Again, another vehicle with a lot of modifications for the off-road class, and all the modifications suit the type of vehicle as well. Now, the best car in sports category and the number one best car selected in the game. Now, you can't really argue with this. There's 1,096 people, and this has been the highest voted car. And I think we all kind of knew what it was going to be, and it's the LG Retro Custom. To put this in perspective, in the sports class, Jester Classic came second, and the Jester Classic had less than half the votes than the LG Retro had. So I think we all know why the LG Retro is number one. It's got so many modifications, and it's just really cool, the concept that GTA did with the R32, R33 and R34. It just shows, I think out of every car, this car shows that, you know, there's actually car guys that work for Rockstar. And without doing copyright, this car has the best of like all three of those cars. And with the crazy amount of Benny's modifications, it's number one, and it definitely deserves number one. Let me know if you disagree with this. Let me know if you disagree with the number one car and what you think the number one car should have been. And yeah, if you feel betrayed that this is the number one car, but I don't think anyone will. But I'll check out your comments and see what you guys think. Now, the LG Retro is the number one car, but what would come out on top out of 29 LG Retros? As you can already see, there is a lot of good competition here. There's a lot of variety. Which car will win? And the winner is this LG Retro by Mahmoud. Now, I'm not trying to say that this is the best ever car in GTA. There's probably a few LG Retros out there that are better. Comment down in the comment section if you saw an LG Retro in these clips and thought that was better. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, and see you guys in the next one.